Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike Green. I'm one of the owners of 1A Auto. I want to help you save time and money repairing and maintaining your vehicle. I'm going to use my 20 plus years experience restoring and repairing cars and trucks like this to show you the correct way to install parts from 1AAuto.com. The right parts installed correctly. That's going to save you time and money. Thank you and enjoy the video.
In this video we're going to show you alternator replacement on this 2001 Ford Taurus with a 3.0 liter V6 engine. Tools you'll need are a flat blade screwdriver, large pair of slip jaw pliers, 10mm, 13mm, 15mm sockets with ratchet, a 15mm wrench with either a larger wrench or a pipe for some leverage, and possibly a catch pan. I ran into an issue which you may not have, and I had to remove the radiator overflow bottle, so that's why you might need the catch pan. First, you're going to want to disconnect your negative battery cable. You might need an 8mm wrench to loosen it up. Okay, so right here is your idler pulley, and then right down in below is your belt tensioner. So what you want to do is take a 15mm wrench and put it onto that belt tensioner, and then you're going to push it clockwise to loosen the tension on the belt. And what I'm doing is I'm using a larger wrench to hook onto that 15mm wrench and to give it some more leverage. Okay, so now I'm going to pull that idler pulley over, and as I push you might be able to see the tension give on the belt, and then I flip the belt right off of the idler pulley. Okay, now I can pull the belt up and out and the wrenches up and out.
Okay, now this you should just be able to press this and pull it up, but I'm going to use some tools here to help me. I'm going to push on it there with that a little bit, and then I'm going to use some pliers to kind of help me pull it up and off. Okay. And then this is a 10mm nut.
Okay, we'll kind of speed through taking that little nut off. And now we're going to use a 13mm socket and ratchet and remove this brace nut.
15mm bolt right here.
Okay, this is where it got a little interesting. I'm not sure if this was a replacement bolt in this car or something, but as you can see, as I try and pull it out, it hits up against my reservoir bottle, and I was unable to figure out how to get it out without hitting that reservoir bottle. So what I ended up doing is taking the bottle out. So I'll show you that real quick.
Move two bolts, 10mm, one that's right here, and then one that's right over here.
And as you can probably tell, that bolt or that nut is pretty well rusted on there and the clip is broken. So actually what I ended up doing was using a hammer to just punch it through the fender from the other side. And if you want to see that, you can check out our radiator overflow bottle video. We have one dedicated to removing that.
Okay, and then you're going to disconnect three hoses. One here, here, and one way down in here. And the hose disconnect is pretty easy. You want a pair of pliers. And you put the pliers on, squeeze the clamp, and then slide it off.
Okay, we've unbolted the two bolts and disconnected the upper hoses here.
A lot of times what will help is a nice big pair of pliers. Usually see, as I'm twisting back and forth and pulling back on the bottle, the hose is coming off. And now it can come right out.
And obviously you want a catch pan, as you can hear the coolant kind of leaking out. Okay, now here I'm back to our alternator. You can see Got that 13 millimeter, and then now this is another 13 millimeter bolt underneath that I'm removing. It comes out pretty easily, actually. I was kind of surprised. I believe actually this alternator had been replaced at one time because it looks like it's in pretty good shape, and actually you'll see I just put it back in because no really reason to replace it when it is still working just fine. So there's the 13 millimeter bolt out. I'm going to pull, you see I stuck the wrench on there, pull back on that bracket a little bit, and then the alternator come up and out. Just kind of keeps it out of the way a little bit. Then obviously that bolt comes out now without the reservoir in the way. Okay, and then you're going to want to grab something. I grabbed the ratchet handle and just stick it in between. Sorry, I didn't get a good shot there. Kind of just stick it in between there and pry the alternator up and out. Okay, and I'm actually going to kind of speed up installation since it's pretty much just a reverse. You see I put that lower bolt in first, just kind of get it going. I use the back of the screwdriver to kind of beat on the alternator a little bit, get it down in place, and then use my tools again to kind of get that aligned up. Get that 15 millimeter bolt going, then put that 13 millimeter nut on as well. Now I tighten that 13 millimeter bolt up, get it nice and tight. You probably want to have about 50 foot-pounds. Tighten up that 13 millimeter nut, and then tighten up that 15 millimeter bolt. And now here, obviously, plug in your top plug. Actually, I'm sorry, I'm putting on the lead with the 10 millimeter nut. And now I'm going to plug in my top plug. Okay, and now here I'm going to tighten up that 10 millimeter nut. Just takes a few turns. Get nice and snug, doesn't have to be incredibly tight. Then push that boot on. Make sure that boot covers that nut up because you don't want any metal contacting it. It could spark. And now I'm going to use my 15 millimeter wrench and my 18 millimeter, and it's nice and easy to see without that bottle in the way. So I pull on that tensioner and then bring my belt up, hook it onto the alternator, make sure it's on all the way everywhere else, and then let the tension off. If you didn't have to remove your radiator bottle, then you're pretty much done. But if you did, you can just follow along as I put the radiator bottle back in. And now I'll use my big pliers again, grab onto that hose, push the bottle against it, and work the hose on there. And then once I got it on a little bit, I just reach down in there with my hand, grab hold of it, and really push it together. Okay, shake it around, twist it a little bit, and then grab the pliers again and get hold of the clamp. Spread the clamp open, or whatever, squeeze it shut, which spreads it open, and get the clamp on there. Now hook it into the side, into its little clip, and get that 10 millimeter bolt from the side started. And I'll speed up, tighten it up here. Okay, and then once you get that tight, then put the little nut from the top here. And again, speed that up, tighten it up, and then put on your hoses, and you should be all set. And now you just need to reconnect your battery and get back on the road. We hope this helps you out. Brought to you by www.1aauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll-free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.